Hi there, welcome back. Last session, we talked about the carbon cycle.
Besides carbon, there are other elements that also play important roles in our environment. Here in this section, we are going to talk about nitrogen cycle. As we know, nitrogen is the most abundant element in the atmosphere.
Approximately 78% of our atmosphere is nitrogen. That's not the problem here. The problem is that the nitrogen is unusable to life. When you look at the picture right here, nitrogen is the chemical formula for the atmospheric nitrogen, and notice there are triple bonds holding these two nitrogen together. That is the reason why triple bonds are very stable and hard to break. Nitrogen is not usable to most forms of life because most of life cannot break the triple bonds, but some soil bacteria can, and you will get into that in just a moment. So why nitrogen is important to life? To life, plants and animals cannot live without nitrogen because it is an important part of cells and processes in their bodies like amino acids, proteins, and even our DNA or genetic code. Here is a double helix in the slide. If we look at the picture right here, remember it reminds us what a nucleotide is. DNA is made from the whole large collection of nucleotides, and one of the parts of the nucleotide is called nitrogenous base. Therefore, implying it made from the nitrogen, so nitrogen is at the very heart of DNA molecules. Without nitrogen, we cannot replicate or reproduce another living things. It is also important in plants to make chlorophyll.
This substance is used in photosynthesis to provide food and energy for plants. But animals and plants don't absorb nitrogen that easily.
So, even there is a lot of nitrogen in the air, we all need another way to obtain the nitrogen. Nature has a way to automatically provide us with nitrogen, and it evolves processes to get nitrogen out of the air into living organisms. This is called nitrogen cycle. For nitrogen to be used by living things, it needs to be changed into different states. Nitrogen in the air is called N2. Other examples of nitrogen states are nitrates, nitrites, and ammonium. Now, what processes are involved in the nitrogen cycle? Nitrogen cycle revolves around an important creature on Earth, the bacteria. The particular bacteria can actually help the nitrogen change between states so that it can be used. For example, when nitrogen gets into the soil, lots of bacteria are going to help it to change states so it can be absorbed by plants, and then we and other animals get nitrogen from plants. The processes involved in the nitrogen cycle are the following. First is the fixation. It is the first step where bacteria change nitrogen into ammonia or ammonium. It is a very smelly kind of gas. For us humans, we use ammonium for purification of water supplies and in the manufacture of plastics, explosive, textiles, pesticides, dyes, or other chemicals. The second step in the cycle is nitrification. Like its name, this is where ammonium gets changed into nitrates by soil bacteria. Plants can now absorb nitrogen in the form of nitrate. Fun fact learners, speaking of absorption, did you know that nitrogen is used in fertilizer to help plants grow faster? However, when nitrogen fertilizer is applied more than the plants can use, soil bacteria will convert it to water-soluble nitrates, which can be flushed out of soil in runoff and pollutes groundwater, streams, and coastal ocean, causing eutrophication. The next step in the cycle is assimilation, or absorption of nitrogen from the soil to the body of the plants. They absorb those nitrates from the soil into the roots. After that, nitrogen is used to form amino acids, nucleic acids, and chlorophyll. The next part of the cycle is ammonification, or decaying process when living things like a plant or animal die. Decomposers like fungi and bacteria turn nitrogen back into ammonium. This is done so that nitrogen won't be just wasted on the ground and it can enter the nitrogen cycle again. And lastly, the denitrification. Although the nitrogen gets back to other living things through plants, other nitrogen left in the soil can get back into the air, and this process is called denitrification. This process involves special bacteria to make nitrogen less dense and help it get back to the atmosphere. So that's it. Hope you all learned something today. Thank you.